situations, except Arbor Day. When it comes to Arbor Day, the only rules are, there are no rules. Wait, that might be the rules for spring break. I'll have to check my files. Sure, when you first heard the title of this chapter, you thought, come on, Ellen, this is one area of my life where your infinite wisdom and eerie insight are not necessary. But think about it. What time of year is the most stressful, painful, and all-around disappointing? Yes, New Year's Eve. And that's because you're finally releasing all of the stress and the resentment that the holiday gift-giving season has heaped upon your weary shoulders. The whole idea of exchanging gifts is much more complicated than most people realize. So stop denying that you need help. Unclench your jaw. See, I know what you feel like. And finish this chapter. You'll never waste another $50 on a last-minute wine and cheese basket again. Now you may be thinking, hey Ellen, even though you're being very funny and I enjoy your witty insights and light-hearted ribbing, it really is the thought that counts. If you're thinking that, then I thank you for your compliment, but quit your infernal thinking and listen to me for a second. The saying, it's the thought that counts, was coined as an emotional Band-Aid by someone who left all of her shopping until 9 o'clock Christmas Eve, or the night before the first day of Hanukkah, or until right before Kwanzaa, or until the twilight of the day of the winter solstice. Please write to my publisher if I forgot to include your chosen cultural gift-giving holiday. If it's really the thought that counts, then why don't we always tell people what we were thinking when we were scrambling to buy them their last-minute panic gift? It was less than $20, and I hardly ever see them that much anyway. We don't say these things because it's not the thought of the giver that counts. The thought that counts is the thought the getter is thinking after the wrapping paper has been torn away. If we were really going to be thoughtful, we would buy presents for people that they could, in turn, give away to other people still left on their shopping lists. Your friend could unwrap your gift to find a wrapped gift with his niece's name right on the tag ready to go. You just bought him 3 hours not spent in the mall. Now that's thoughtful. It takes this kind of thought and creativity to figure out what would make a good gift for someone. You have to consider what the person likes, what they already have, what they care about, what they need. Basically, you have to invest a lot of your time. And since time is the one thing none of us have anymore, we end up giving a box set of Bailey's Irish Cream liqueur with shot glasses with Luck of the Irish stamped on the front of them. It looks like a gift, it seems like a gift, but they never use, drink, or look at it after December 26th. Or December 8th, or the week of the 12th. Please write to my publisher if the date you throw away useless gifts was not mentioned above. It wasn't like that back in the good old days when dear old Dad would spend all summer and most of the fall whittling your own train set out of freshly cut pine. That's back when thoughts really did count, and you could go to the movies all day for a nickel and not get kidnapped. But as times will do, times have changed. If you gave a kid a homemade pine wood train set today, he would sue you for breach of contract. Why people sign Christmas contracts with their children these days, I will never know. Since we can't, as adults, get away with throwing bad presents against a wall and bursting into tears, Christmas is the time of year when we all become really good at lying. Lying is just another form of acting, so in a way, we are all actors in a 48-hour play that runs from the 24th to the 25th of December. Again, unless you're Jewish, in which case you have to fake it for 8 days straight. There are people in Los Angeles who pay thousands of dollars for that kind of rigorous training. Last year, my mother should have at least received a Best Actress nomination for the performance she gave after opening a shoe tree my aunt gave her. It was gritty, real, and heart-wrenching. In short, a tour de force. Because of this widely accepted deceit, it's very hard to tell if someone really likes the gift you got for them. The eggnog doesn't help either. So here's a quick checklist you can use. You know, for checking. How to tell if someone doesn't like the gift you have given them. Number 1. They say, I love it. If they say they love it, you can be sure they hate it. Loving a towel rack makes no sense. So clearly they're overcompensating for the feelings of guilt and shame about the deeper feelings of anger and resentment they have about being given a towel rack for Christmas. Or maybe they've gone insane with rage over getting such an impersonal, utilitarian gift after 35 years of marriage. Just a tip, never give any kind of rack as a gift. I don't care how nice the rack is. Yes, even a rack of lamb. Number 2. They say, thank you. Thank you is such a loaded statement. The nuances are imperceptible, woven with sarcasm, irony, and plain old sass. They might as well just spit on your shoe. Special circumstance if they sigh, shake their head, and stare deeply into your eyes right before they say it. They're an imposter, and you should call the police. Number 3. They say, "Where did you get it?" The nerve! Why don't they just say, "Does the store give cash refunds," so that I can return it and finally get something I actually want? Quick fix. Buy all of your gifts in Japan. That way nobody wins. Epilogue: the myth of handmade gifts. Unreturnable, unusable, unsightly, unfun. These are just some of the words you can use to describe handmade gifts, unless you're related to a talented furniture maker, clothing designer, or you're someone's grandma. Getting a handmade gift for Christmas is never not disappointing. Even grandmas secretly hate them, but society forces them to repress their real feelings about being gypped. Instead, they have to pretend they love multicolored, glitter-covered macaroni sculptures. Why do we put the aged through this kind of strain? They just want a DVD player like everybody else. When considering giving a homemade gift, just think to yourself, is this a gift I would like to get? And then think to yourself, why do I still have this leather burning tool when putting your name on the back of your belt went out of style in 1976? And then think, is it right for me to heap the byproducts of my knitting hobby onto my friends and family in lieu of buying them actual gifts that cost actual money? And then think, why am I so selfish? Not just about the crafts, but about everything I do and say. It's always me, me, me. Look what I can make, and look how fast I can knit. I never think about what it would be like to receive a scarf with leather piping that has my name burnt into it. It would be creepy and irritating, especially because when it's wrapped, it's exactly the same shape as 2 bars of gold. There. I think I've said my piece. With all this in mind, get out there and let the people you care about most, or whose names you drew in the Secret Santa gift exchange at work, know exactly how much you're thinking about them this holiday season by picking out fun, useful, and exciting gifts. Then, after you've been shopping for 2 hours and you realize you don't know what your father's interests are, give up and go to the bulletproof option, the gift certificate.